As you can see on the screen, we are one of the top ranked mental health we are one of the top ranked in mental health services in India, and such has been covered in a lot of media articles, media journals, as you see on the screen. We are also working with some of the reputed institutes, educational institutes of India, such as Akash, Byju's, and some of the premium schools of India. Now, without a further ado, I invite my colleague Diksha to take over and take you through the workshop.
Thank you, Abhishek, for inviting me to this session. And I am so glad to meet all of the parents and all of the students present here in the session. And I'm really thankful to each one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule and being a part of today's workshop. So the first step you have already taken, you're here. That means that you want to do something about your teenagers if you are a teenager. And if you are a parent, that means you are here to help your teenager. So let's understand what you as a parent can do and how teenagers can help understand their relationship with their parents and also understand themselves a little more. So before starting the session, I just have a small icebreaker activity for you. So what you all have to do is you have to introduce yourself by saying your name along with the name, along with the age of your son or your daughter that you have. So for example, if I have to introduce myself, I would say that my name is Diksha and I have a 16-year-old daughter. So similarly, if you are a teenager, you can try a little more innovative manner. You can also introduce yourself by taking your name and telling us about one of your strengths. So let's start. Anybody who would like to volunteer and speak up?
I am Priyanka Goyal and I have a son. He is 13 years old.
Thank you, Priyanka. It's good to know you. I can't hear you, Ms. Shrikanta. Okay, so can we have some more participants? Sangeeta,
Yeah.
would you like to introduce yourself? Okay.
Hi, I'm Sangeeta Raghavan, and I have two adolescents. They're not yet reached the teens, but my elder one is 12, and my younger one is going to reach 10. So I have mentally preparing myself through this program so that I'm better prepared to deal with the teens once they arrive. So they are in their pre-teens right now. So one is 12 and about to be 10.
It's good to know that you're already preparing yourself for them. Amazing. Can we have some more participants? What about?
Hi, I'm Suryashri Puntambekar. I'm a teacher, so I usually deal with the children at this age. So wanted to know more about this workshop so I can help them much better.
Definitely. I think when we talk about teenagers or any age student as per se, so it's always better to work in a holistic manner. So it's good to have you as well here, and I hope this workshop benefits you as well.
Thank you so much for giving the opportunity. Thanks.
Sure. So if you're not comfortable speaking, you can also write your responses in the chat section. I can read that out for you. Yes.
You can reply in the chat box.
Okay. So I can hear some conversation already. But all right, I think I'll wait for your responses and I will definitely bring that up. But let's move forward till now. So Abhishek, yes. So the first slide that we have is about understanding your teenagers. So when we talk about teens, we get a lot of definitions online, but what WHO says is adolescent is basically an individual whose age group is between 10 to 19 years. And this is a transition period where they are changing from childhood to adulthood. And this is very complicated. This gets very complicated at times. And the changes that are going on their bodies, in their bodies, it not just limited to their bodies. It is also happening in their cognition. It is also happening in their social environment. So because of all of these changes, this process at times become confusing. And it is not just confusing for them, it is also confusing for their parents, and at times it is also confusing for their teenagers. And even they are not able to understand at times like what is going on in them. I have seen cases where like children get a lot of anger outburst, and they come to me and say that, ma'am, we are not able to understand why is this happening to me. Is this something because of adolescence? It is something because of other factors involved. So please help us out. So this is just a brief to tell you a bit about what teenagers or who teenagers exactly are and what are the different kinds of problems that they go through. To talk about the challenges that we face, that they face, we have another slide and a discussion question for you. So I am going to post a link in the chat section, and I want you all to go to that link and submit your responses in that link. So just give me a second. So the question that you will find on the link is, what challenges teenagers go through these days? So what do you think are the different challenges that teenagers go through? So can you please click on the link, and you can submit as many responses as you want. You can submit like 1 response, 2 response, or 5 response. We just want to know your understanding of what are the different challenges you think that teenagers go through. Abhishek, can we go to the Mentimeter slide now, so that we can see the responses that they are putting in?
Disha, is my screen visible?
Yeah. I can see the presentation, but we want the Mentimeter now.
Just a minute.
So I hope all of you are able to access the link. Is there anyone who is not able to do so? Yes. Can you refresh this so that we can get the responses that our participants have submitted? Okay. So we have responses like they can't express their feelings, definitely. Then there is addiction, very true, very true. Depression, tension, major mood swings. So major mood swing, I think this is a constant response that I get from every workshop I take with parents when it comes to teens, that they go through a lot of mood swings. They go through a lot of changes in terms of their behavior. So that has been constant. I would love to have more responses in order to understand what do you think are the different challenges that they go through. Okay, so we have a lot many. Relationship issues, exam anxiety, peer pressure, new challenges, personal problems, work, okay, ambiguity, uncertainty. I think you all have made my task easier, and it will be easier for me to explain the next slide now, because you all have covered majority of the challenges that teenagers go through. And I'm so glad that we have such an informed audience here. And I'm so happy to be informing you even more. So what we have put up in our slide when it comes to the different challenges that teenagers go through. So we have tried to, categorize all these issues in 3 different categories. So for example, first we have academic issues. So as some of you mentioned that they go through exam stress, they go through exam anxiety. And I think because of the COVID situation now, the cases of procrastination, lack of motivation, lack of attention, time management issues, I don't know, like what I have seen is that उनका कोई सोने का टाइम नहीं है, उनका कोई उठने का टाइम नहीं है. They're eating whenever they want. The lunch is now becoming brunch. So all of these changes are affecting their academics plus also their health. Then we also have some behavioral issues, and behavioral issues, for example, risk-taking behavior. So some of you have mentioned about addiction. So addiction can be in terms of internet as well, but also it can be in terms of alcohol and other drug-related addiction, which becomes quite common in this stage because the tendency to take risk increases. And then there's a lot of issues related to teasing and bullying. So either they are bullying somebody or they are getting bullied. Then internet and phone addictions, again, going on to that addiction point. So there is a lot of internet addiction, phone addiction. I get statement from parents like, my child is always on the phone, I don't know what to do. And now because of the online classes, the scenario has even become worse. So this is what is happening these days. Then we also have some social and emotional issues, which again, mood swings, stress and anxiety related issues, peer pressure is again, all the points are something that you all have already covered. So mood swings, sometimes they get very sad, sometimes they get very happy, and sometimes they find it unable to manage their anger. Stress, call it exam stress, call it personal life stress, but it is interfering with both their academic and non-academic performance. Then peer pressure, a lot of times they do not want to do certain things, but when their friends ask them to do the same, they're doing it because they want to be accepted by their friends, they want to be a part of that group. And then relationship issues with the parents, with the friends, it comes. Yes,
तुम्ही जॉईन झालोच नाही. नाही, माझं नाव तर होतं.
जॉईन झाले पण
Okay. Anybody who wants to add anything, if I have missed any point, please feel free to speak. And we are not here to judge you. I forgot to tell you that in the beginning itself. So you can stop me anytime if you feel that I am saying anything wrong, or if you want to add your experience, add any of the point that you feel that I am missing, then please feel free to respond. Can you all relate to these points? Can I get a thumbs up maybe if you are not comfortable speaking? Okay, I'm getting a lot of thumbs ups now. Great. Parents being physical with kids just to dominate. I totally agree with Prashant. Very true. So at times, in order to deal with their inappropriate behavior, we often slap them or we often shout on them. And now we are so aware that we can actually research and get to know different strategies to deal with their inappropriate behavior rather than physically dominating them. So that's a very good point by Prashant. Anybody else has any comments, any points that they want to put up? Very well presented. Okay, Shrikanta, that's really sweet. Thank you. All right. Then moving ahead, we have some red flags, some danger signs that you can look for in your teens in order to understand whether they need external assistance or not. And all the teens that are here today, I would like to focus on particularly on this slide to help you understand whether you need assistance or not, whether this is something that you should actually take forward and you should seek external assistance, maybe from a counselor, maybe from a coach. So for example, changes in sleep pattern, changes in eating patterns. So for example, you're sleeping a lot all of a sudden, or you're not sleeping at all. There is overthinking and you're constantly on a loop of thoughts and you are not able to sleep because of that. Now you find that there are changes in eating habits. For example, whatever your favorite foods were, now you do not want to eat even them, and you do not feel like eating anything. Or it can be the opposite. You are eating a lot these days, call it stress eating. Then there is lack of self-esteem, changes in energy level and concentration. Even though you are trying, but you're not able to concentrate. You find that you are always drained. You do not have that energy to even get up from the bed and sit in front of the computer and study, or take out your notebooks and study. Lack of self-esteem, you're constantly doubting yourself, you're constantly doubting your abilities, and there are constant negative thoughts that are coming in your mind. Or even if we talk about a serious scenario, then maybe suicidal thinking. That is quite common. I mean, it has become common these days because of the number of rates that are increasing. So recently I was taking a workshop and there was a child who openly came up and spoke about the kind of suicidal thinking that she was having. And that was really, really difficult situation for us to handle. And you as participants can all understand, if a child is open enough to speak about the suicidal thinking that she's having on an open platform, then how severe it could be. Then there is loss of interest in favorite activities. If you enjoy playing cricket, but now you don't want to even play cricket. If you enjoy listening to music, but now you don't even want to listen to music. And you are excessively isolating yourself. You do not want to come out of your room. You do not want to interact with anyone. You do not want to meet your friends. Then this is something that you should look for in order to understand, like, if you need help or not. Then there is excessive moodiness. If you see that your mood swings have increased a lot and it is interfering with your daily activities, it is interfering with your concentration levels. And overall, all of it is resulting into decline in academic performance. You're not able to score, even though you're trying hard to study, even though you're trying hard to concentrate, but you're not able to do it. And it is all resulting into a decline in your academic performance. You used to score 90% before, and now you're just scoring 50%. So you need to find out what is the reason behind it. And I hope you all are able to relate with all of these dangerous signs. And if you feel that this is something happening with you, and this is something that is happening to you maybe on a severe level, and the duration has exceeded 2 weeks, then this is something that you really need to work on. And you really need external help for this one. I am not trying to scare you or anything, but this is mental health has become a really big concept these days. And this is something that we all should look for in not just in our teens, but also in ourselves. Okay, so I hope this slide was able to make it clear to you, like what is normal and what exactly is the time when we actually look for somebody who is professional to seek help from. Any ideas, any opinions, anything that you want to add from your side? Can I have your responses? Anyone? What about Anya Arora? Anya Arora, can you speak a little? Were you able to relate to any of it or any comments that you have? Anya, are you there? Okay, what about Dharman Joshi?
Yes, ma'am, it was great. I mean, even I am, I can really relate to things. I mean, I'm not a teenager anymore, but I can actually relate certain things that you're saying. I mean, when we are in this age, there are quite a lot of things going around, not just academic pressure, but along with a lot of different things.
Okay. Thank you, Dharman. And it was really good hearing some of the participants speaking. Ishwar, can you add your points? We have Ishwar, we have Gaurangi, we have Kavya. Anybody who would like to speak? Any thoughts, any feelings that you are having right now after hearing so much of me speaking? Okay, so even if you're not comfortable speaking, you can write it in the chat section and I'll read it. And if you're not comfortable speaking to everybody, you can just drop a message to me, maybe personally here in the Zoom itself. So let's move on to what
Hi, Diksha. Okay. Hi, Diksha. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to add something in this area that during this period, what I have noticed is they don't want to share their emotion, as well as they think that they are being getting judged by others. So that hesitation is a lot at this age, and that makes it more difficult to take out from this situation of opening themselves or talking to someone, those who can help them. So should be something that if you can give us a strategy of how we can deal with that.
Oh, definitely. Thank you, Sureshri, for bringing that point. And about the strategies, we will be covering in the later section. But definitely that fear of judgment from the society, that fear of judgment from the parents or from the friends, it's there. And that at times, because of all of these judgment, it becomes really, really difficult for them to express their selves completely.
Yeah, thank you, Diksha.
Thanks to you for bringing up that point, and about the strategies, we will be covering them soon. So Priyanka is saying, I think the best thing to overcome any issue with a teenager would be talking constantly with your teen. Very true. So we all know communication is the key, but at times we are not able to understand like how exactly and in which manner should we talk to our teen. or at times even our teens do not understand कि भाई मम्मी से कैसे बात करे, पापा से कैसे बात करे. And Suryashi, as just mentioned, they have this fear that, you know, their parents might judge them, their friends might judge them. So talking in the right manner, communicating in the right manner is also essential. And about that, I will be talking in a little detail very, very soon. Okay, so I have got a message. Okay, so I have got a message, so I'm not going to take the name, but she says that I find it really difficult to express my emotions to my parents, and I get judged, or it seems that my emotions are invalid. How do I protect myself from getting misunderstood every time I express my emotion? I totally understand, and as I think Suryashi was the person who bring here on this, like in this workshop, that it is at times really difficult for emotions, for teenagers to express their emotions. And I totally get it that even if teenagers try to express it get dismissed, or it can be the other way around. When parents are trying to explain something to their teen, when they are trying to explain what they are feeling, at times their feelings seem to be getting dismissed by their teens. So there, this all creates a bridge, like a communication gap that we need to bridge between the teen and the parents. So I totally agree with that, and we are going to talk about how to properly communicate in the next session. But before that, we have a poll for you so that we can break some of your myths. So this poll is about myths and facts, and I will again be posting a link in the chat section. Just give me a second. Okay, so I think yeah, I've posted the link in the chat section. I would request all the participants to go to that link and submit your responses. So as we can already see on the screen, we have already got one response. So the statement that is there, teens grow out of serious mental health problems on their own. So what do you think? Is it a myth or a fact? By the time I see a response from our participants, we have one comment in the chat section. Teenagers facing anger and hurt at home, they bring that exactly the same way to outdoor, maybe in classroom, friends, or others. Definitely. The anger get manifested in different forms. And at times, even teenagers are not able to understand whether they are sad or whether they are angry. And it comes out in various forms. Sometimes they throw things, sometimes they just outlash on their friends or on their parents, or at times it is because of the parents that they are angry and they are lashing out on their friends. So that's why it is called a state of confusion, a state of conflict that teenagers go through, and it is at extreme level. Confusion, conflict, anger, difficulty in managing emotion, it's there at all the levels, right from the beginning, right from the childhood till the adulthood. But when it comes to teenage, the transition makes it even more difficult. Okay, so we have a lot more responses now. So many of the participants have said that it is a myth, and I can say that that is the right answer. It is a myth. So teenagers do not grow out of serious mental health problems on their own. Not just teenagers, any adult cannot even grow out of any serious mental health problems on their own. So as I told you earlier, also severity plays a very, very important role. If a problem is mild, if a problem is moderate, it can still be managed with healthy home environment or by tackling whatever concerns are there if you are able to identify them. But when it comes to severe mental health problems, we need to again have a holistic approach and seek help from a professional so that we can better able to understand what exactly is causing the problem, what exactly is the reason behind the stress or the anxiety or the depression, and we can work on it properly. So most of you are right, and I hope for the rest of the people who said it's fact, I was able to clear this statement properly. So the next statement that we have is, counseling for teens is a waste of time. So what do you think? Is it a myth or a fact? Okay, we have 2 responses for myth. What about others? So it looks like our audience is quite supportive of mental health services, and most of them believe that it's not a waste of time. So definitely it's a myth. And counseling is basically to help you understand what exactly you are going through, is to unclutter all the thoughts that is there in your head and that is creating all the confusion. So we are not here to give you any advice. We are not here to give you any suggestion. We'll give you different perspectives, and based on whatever problems that your teen or you are going through, we will show you different perspectives, different narratives, so that you can become better at coping with your stress. So this generation is lucky that counseling and psychology experts are here to assist teenagers. Okay, thank you. But yes, definitely. And I think as we are proceeding and as the time is passing, the need of understanding the emotions is increasing a lot. And there is a research that I'll be talking about in the later section, which says that after the year 2025, it will be very difficult for all the human beings to manage their emotions and to understand their emotions. So I will be talking about that in detail later. But thank you all for answering to this statement. And yes, it is a myth. Counseling for teens is definitely not a waste of time. It involves a lot of techniques and methods. So the next statement that we have is, at times teens go through real life challenges. What do you think? Is it a myth or a fact? Okay, the responses are increasing rapidly for fact. So definitely it is a fact, and at times teens definitely go through real life challenges. So I have had parents who would come and say that इनके time में क्या ही होता है, परेशानी तो adulthood में आती है, which is also there. Being a parent is not an easy task. Being a parent is actually really, really challenging. But it does not mean that your teen and your child is not going through some real life challenges. They have their own set of stressors to deal with. So we should not dismiss that, saying that, this is not a challenge at all. What you are going through is nothing. This is nothing. What we actually go through is a lot, is like a real challenge. So definitely, I think our participants are very well aware that teens go through real life challenges, and I'm really happy to see 100% response on the fact. Okay, so the next statement that we have is, mental health issues in teens is the result of bad parenting only. So let's see what our participants has to say on this. Okay. So it's interesting to see that I am getting a lot of direct messages, and I am not going to reveal the names, but I am glad that the teens and the parents are coming out, even though they are not comfortable sharing their concerns on a public platform. But it's good to know that you are trusting us and sharing your concerns. So again, I'm not going to say the name, but the recent concern that I got was related to some relationship problem. And I know it's very difficult to handle a relationship at times, and it becomes really challenging. But in order to help you properly, I would really love to connect with you for a one-to-one session. So Abhishek, by the end of the session, will give you the details for the one-to-one session as well. And I have been taking sessions with many of the students from various platforms and counseling. I'm not saying that I am trying to promote this or anything, but counseling has really helped them a lot. And I have dealt with so many of such cases. So if you feel that, counseling can help you too, you can definitely check our website and book counseling session. I will be in a better position to help you once I get to know about your concern in detail and privately. Okay, so coming back to the statement that mental health issues in teens is a result of bad parenting, the majority of the participants says it's a myth. So definitely bad parenting is one of the factors that lead to mental health issues in teens, but it is not the only factor. So yes, myth is the right response. So mental health issues usually arises because of variety of factors. It can be due to bad parenting, it can be due to genetics, it can be due to their friends, it can be due to their academics, it can be due to XYZ other factors. And usually, when a serious mental health issue arises, say it in teens or it in adults, it is because of a lot of factors involved together. So I hope I was able to make this statement clear to all of you. And now we have the last statement for the poll. Increased complaints of physical pain, such as headaches or stomach aches, can also be warning signs for teens' mental health. Can I have some responses? Okay. So again, I have received a direct message. So thank you for bringing that up. And I am trying to convince your parents so that they can understand that the therapy is essential for students, for teens too. So parents, all the parents present here, your children are openly speaking to me and they are telling me to convince you so that you can actually look for counseling services for them. So this is the right time before it gets severe, before it gets out of control. If your child is asking for help, this is the time that you should actually take it seriously and look for some help for them. And we are also going to tell you about how we can offer help to your child, how we can offer help to your teen and also to you in the later section again. Okay, so we have a majority response to fact here. So as you all know that mental health is equals to physical health and vice versa. So even if you have some mental health issues, or on the other hand, if you have some physical issues, it is going to impact the other. So many a times when students come to me with concerns like मैम बहुत पेट में दर्द हो रहा है या बहुत सर में दर्द हो रहा है, it can be because of certain stress that they are facing, because of some other reason. And when that stress goes away, that headache or stomach ache also goes away. So that is why when you see that there is increase in physical pain, increase in physical complaints as well, this is also can be a warning sign that your teen's mental health might be compromising at this point of time. So with this statement, we end the direct poll. Again, anything that you want to share, anything that parents or any teen want to add here? Are you all with me? मैं बहुत ज़्यादा बोल तो नहीं रही हूँ, ज़्यादा boring तो नहीं हो रहा है. Can I get a thumbs up if you are able to relate to me? If you are not able to
Very much, very much. Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I would like to say here that as a counselor, a student who wants to discuss some issues with the counselor, it's a very they are unable to talk to their parents because there are too many emotions involved, and parents are already prejudging them, and they many a times they are biased that your problems. Now I've heard this 100 times. You really are just wasting my time. I will talk about this later. But when they have a neutral party where they can open up and share, knowing that it's a mature adult that I'm sharing with, who will not judge me and will be able to help me. That's all they want. A person who can listen to them, tell them it's going to be okay. Don't worry, I'm there for you. That's all they want to listen. But many a times, even the simple sentence also, parents are not in a position to tell the teenager, that's all right, I've been through that. We can get through this together. So that is something that a counselor can provide, which a parent is unable to provide many a times due to a lot of maybe their office stress, housework. But I think that's where the counselor comes in and plays a very important role for a teenager.
Definitely, definitely, Sangeeta. I totally agree with you. And that is the reason I think that many of my students are still in touch with me. Even though I counseled them 3 years back, but they still message me saying that, ma'am, you are our biggest support and we really love you. So that is the connect that we were able to form with those students that somewhere missing between the parents and the children. So Sangeeta really pointed really well that it is very important to bridge the communication gap and also to not dismiss the feelings that your teen is trying to express you. and also share your feelings to them in a proper manner so that they also understand that how difficult parenting is becoming for you. So thank you, Sangeeta, for bringing that up. And I would also like to point out that at times children find it difficult, teens find it difficult to express their feelings also because of the stigma that is attached to mental health. When we talk about mental health, the word that comes into people's mind is that, "Arey, aap pagal to nahi hai. Aap pagal ho tabhi isliye counseling le rahe hain." So this is something that we all look into, like counseling. Oh, matlab there is something, a mental problem going on. So the stigma needs to be broken. The stigma needs to be shattered. And we need to promote mental health in a way that it is taken as seriously as physical health. अभी हमको कोई बुखार होता है तो हम डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, but nobody judges us for that. Then why are we getting judged for going to a mental health professional when we are in stress? So this is the kind of attitude that you as parents and teenagers also need to develop, and take it in a way that this is something you really need right now if you think that you need it, and it's okay to seek help. All right, so I have said enough and promoted enough about mental health. So let's talk about what are the different strategies now parents can use. What are the different methods of better communication that parents can use in order to bridge the gap that we have been literally talking about? Okay, but before that, I would again say that I am getting a lot more messages about the stigma and how can we ask parents, how can we convince parents that they take our mental health seriously. So again, pointing out that I know parents that you are going through a lot. And as I mentioned initially also, that parenting is a very heavy task. It is very, very challenging. And you have a lot of pressure. You have to manage finances. You have to manage your kids. You have to manage your groceries and your shopping and a lot of other things, electricity bills and all of these bills, credit card bills. You have a lot of things to take care of. But when your child is openly coming up and saying that they need help, then this is something that you really need to look into. And I'm emphasizing on it again and again because I am getting n number of direct messages right now. Okay. So moving ahead, I have some strategies that you can use to build your relationship and to help your teen a little bit better in a better way. For example, transition from manager to coach, choosing your battles wisely, discuss checking in, keep the door open. So I'll explain all of these difficult terms in an easy manner. It is very important to keep checking in on your teen. So as I told you that they have a lot of pressure around them. There is peer pressure, bullying, and the cases of cyberbullying, especially if I talk about, they're increasing a lot these days. And it is important that whenever your teens come back to home from school or from anywhere, a simple question like, "How are you feeling today?" Or "Is there anything that you would like to talk to me about?" I am here to listen and I'm not here to judge you. You can speak to me openly about anything, and I am here to guide you and support you. If you say these statements, the child will be in a state that, okay, my parent is coming to me and approaching me and is asking me what is going on with me. So he or she will be in a better position to tell you about it. But on the other hand, if you are going to just, if they're coming from somewhere and you're going to just lash out and say, "Why are you so late? Is this the time to come back home?" Instead of saying, "I felt really concerned that you did not come back home on time and I was worried. Can you tell me what went wrong?" So the tone of your voice, the way you're phrasing your statement, all of this matters a lot. So that's why I was saying that communication, it is easy to say that communicate with your child in a proper way, but how? Use I statements, manage your tone, see what kind of questions you're putting in front of them. Try to understand and be empathetic towards what they are going through. I know again that you have a lot on your plate, but so do they. So understand that this is something that they want you to understand and they want your support. Even if you feel that they are going wrong, or even if you feel that maybe you have heard something or you've seen that they are doing something wrong, it's always good to sit with them and discuss with them. Is there anything bothering you? Do you need any help? I feel like I am failing as a parent. Can you really help me with this? what should I do to help you? What should I do to decrease your to decrease your exam stress, or to decrease your any problem that they are facing? So this kind of communication is really, really helpful. Then being a role model. So there's a research also by Bandura, who's a very famous psychologist, who says that children learn by observing, and of course teens do also. So if you want to see a particular kind of behavior in your child, it is very, very important that you do it first. If you want your child to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning, it should be you, the first person to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning. If you want your child to eat healthy, follow a healthy lifestyle, then you should be doing it at first. Because whatever you do, even if you feel that your teen is not observing you, or your younger child is not observing you, they are observing everything. They are seeing everything, and they are going to follow you right from the very beginning. So it is very important that instead of saying them, get up early in the morning, study, you also show them the right behavior by doing it yourself. And then of course encouraging your child to follow you, and also providing them uh, autonomous support, and a lot of support, a lot of care. So unconditional love is something that you should provide to your kids, no matter how they are doing in academics, no matter how they are behaving, whether it's good or bad. They are your kids. At the end of the day, they are your kids. And if you feel something is going wrong, you you can be the right person to help, because you are the part of the immediate environment. So instead of judging them for doing anything wrong, let's guide them and see how can you help them better to come out of their problem, so that they can come out of their problem. Okay, so on the same lines, we have a video for you. So let's watch that video now. So thank you for that video, Abhishek. And I hope you were able to get the message of the video, that your children are asking you for help. So please give them the right kind of help that they need. Now, I'll just in brief go to this slide, and I'll explain to you what has been the brief history of human resource development. So before 1950s, there was a time when even education was very, very difficult. It was not accessible to everybody, and especially to girls, it was definitely not accessible. But as we moved on, and as the time it moved forward, then we started to the era of hard skills came, where we were trying to excel in programming, where we're trying to excel in the Excel, and how to make presentation, and how to be better at communication. But now, as I was mentioning before also, 2025 and beyond is the time where machines are going to take over, because technology is now coming. and it has come actually. And as we see that during the COVID times, all of us were operating only through technology. So after 2025 and beyond 2025, there will be a time when machines will take over, and what you will need to excel is on what makes you human, is basically understanding your emotions better and dealing with your emotions in a better way. So that is why it is very, very important to start right now, so that you don't have to later on struggle with it and it becomes more severe. So these are some top 10 future skills that we were able to list out, and this has come from various resources and researches. So these are some of the skills that you will need after 2025: mental well-being, stress and resilience. People will not know how to handle their stress. People will not know how to handle how to become resilient. They will find it really, really difficult to develop a positive mindset, or to become flexible, or to become adaptable. So based on all of these future skills, and based on the concerns that students are facing today, we have come up with a TEEP program, which is known as Teenagers Emotional Empowerment Program. So right now, we are just going to tell you about the 1 month program that we are offering. So in the 1 month program, we have 4 workshops. The first workshop is about understanding cyberbullying, as I was emphasizing on the fact that because of the COVID era, the use of technology, and even before that it was there, but now it has increased. All of you know that your teens are using Instagram. All of you know that even you are using emails and Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp, and you know that the cases of cyberbullying are increasing. At times teenagers do not understand that what do they need to do when their Instagram account gets hacked, or when they get threatening emails, or when they get threatening DMs. So it is very, very important for them to understand what exactly cyberbullying is and what to do when this happens to them. Then we also have our second workshop, which is back to school anxiety. So since many of the schools are reopening and students are getting really, really anxious about going back to school. Uh, and also there is a mixed response too. Some of them are happy, some of them are nervous, some of them do not really know like how they are going to adjust to the school again, because now they're so used to of getting up late and lying down on their bed and taking online classes. Now again, dressing up and going to school is becoming a task for them. That's why we have a workshop on back to school anxiety. And then we have our third workshop on anger management. Anger is a common issue these days. Managing is very, very essential. And then combating negative thoughts. So everything starts from thoughts. If we are thinking negatively, it is going to generate negative emotions, which is going to result in negative behavior. That is why focusing on how to convert these negative thoughts into positive is very, very essential for teens, and they should know how to do it. So that is why our fourth workshop is about combating negative thought. We also have a workshop for parents, which is about positive parenting, and the details you will get to know once you'll attend the workshop. So apart from that, we also have one e-learning course that you will get once you register for the program. We also have our self-help portal where you will get a lot of blogs and articles and quizzes. So you can explore that portal. You will be able to maintain a mood journal through that portal. And we do send calming and rejuvenating morning messages. And we have also, again, a lot of different questionnaires, psychometric assessment quizzes. For example, you can assess how confident are you, you can assess how stressed are you. So we have all of those assessments available on our portal. And the benefit that you're going to get and your teens are going to get positive thinking, and they will be able to form healthy relationship with themselves and also with you. They will understand the digital well-being. They will understand how to manage the digital world properly and what to do if they see that there is any threat or any harm coming from the digital side. They will be able to cope up with their anger issues well, and they will also be able to become aware of their emotions and their feelings. And you as parent will learn how to empathize with your child and also how to understand and deal with your child better. So this is just like a gist of it. See, mental health is a very vast area. and all of it cannot be covered in a 1 month program, but we are trying and we have picked up the major concerns that we see among students these days, and we will be elaborating this program in the later months as well. Okay, so I have again received a message. Let me just check this. Okay, that is again a direct message. So by the time I'm reading it, Abhishek, can you play the feedback from one of the parents?
Sure, Diksha.
Hi, my name is Deepa, and my daughter Janvi recently completed her workshop with Peak Mind, and this workshop gets a big thumbs up from me. First of all, I would say that it kept the interest alive in her. As a 10th class child, the kind of age that they are in, it is not easy to be able to keep them attentive to an online session. And this 1.5 hours of session was something that she looked forward to every day. Most importantly, it kept her very happy. And that was something which I felt was a very beautiful thing about this workshop. And another thing was, of course, the fact that she told me, that this is one place where you can speak your mind, and I can really let my hair down. And I believe that probably what children are looking forward to is the fact that there has to be some place where they are not judged. And I think this was definitely that one place. And so, yes, I mean, great. I mean, I really like that.
So, hi, this is Virgula. And
Abhishek, over to you.
Thank you, Diksha. So just a quick registration process explanation to all of you. So basically, it's a 1-month program offering 4 workshops for students, 1 workshop for parent, and 1 e-learning course. The 1-month program, including all, is priced at 1,999, which is, but we are giving a 50% early bird scholarship that is valid till tomorrow, 18 September. I'll just quickly log in and will give you all a quick walkthrough about how to book the session, basically program. So you will find the link to the for the registration on the chat box shortly. Once you click on that link, you can go through all the description in the events page, wherein you just need to click on book now. You can choose the option, which is 1-month program. So the program will be, so the workshops will be delivered every Tuesday from 5 to 6. It's a 1-hour workshop every Tuesday, 5 to 6. Here you need to apply the coupon code, which is early bird. As soon as you hit apply, you will see the price will change to reduce to 50%. And then you can click proceed and enter the details. So that was about the registration process. As promised, we will be having a lucky draw over here. We'll do it right now. And the winner of that will be getting a free access to this 1-month program. So meanwhile, I'll put the screen up. If you guys have any question, you can direct it to Diksha. I'll just put up that screen. Diksha.
Yeah, sure. And Abhishek, also, if you could have the link for 1-to-1 session booking here in the chat section, probably, it will be really helpful for some of the participants here. Okay, so any more questions that you want to ask? Any queries, any concerns that you would, or any feedback that you would like to give based on today's session, so that we can keep that feedback in mind when we conduct our next workshop? Anyone?
Hi, Diksha. This is Suryashri. I would like to say big thank you to you to giving that vision that mental health is also so important as in physical health, because people think that hesitate to open themselves up or go to the doctor or go to the counselor and have that openness is very important. And now with your session, I think parents and even the children, teenagers can get the idea that it is okay to go and talk to someone. And it's very important to build that relationship, that trusting relationship between parents and the children, that they can talk to someone and they can trust, and somebody can help. Like parent is the closest one who can help the first one to look after their little ones. So, which is very helpful. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sureshi. That was so sweet of you. And I am getting a lot
hello,
of...
Diksha.
Yes.
Hi. It's a nice session, but I was a bit late. So, my son is actually 7 years old, and because of this pandemic, children are more inside the house right now. So maybe because of that, they are very much irritated, and we don't have any other option. Rather than giving them either the mobile phone or the TV. So, can you share some tips how to calm them and, make them leave the TV and remote and, take some time for themselves, because the children, we can't explain to them the importance of, sitting and meditating. So can you just share some tips? Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you for bringing that concern up here. And handling this COVID situation has been a very challenging stage for all of us. And children being children, it is very difficult for us parents and for us counsellors also to make them understand that this is what you need to do right now. I would say that it is important that you need to channelize the energy of your child in the right manner. So if you know that giving a mobile phone or making him watch TV is going to channelize his energy and is going to distract him, maybe come up with different alternatives that would direct him in the same direction, but in a more positive way. So maybe, for example, if your child likes drawing, so give him some sheets and let him color. If you think that if your child, it seems like it is getting really overwhelming, then maybe take him or her for a walk. If not somewhere like I'm not saying that go very far away, but maybe in the nearby society, if you can just take your child for a walk, or walk bhi nahi to thoda stairs upar niche kara do. So what will happen, the energy that is created inside the child, it will all come out while the child is moving up and down the stairs. So just look for simple ways to channelize the energy. If your child likes playing with some games, then we have a lot of cognitive games that you can play. It will help develop his eye-hand coordination, make him do some puzzles. So all of these strategies you can try and do with your child.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Diksha. So before we get any further questions, I'll just quickly let you guys know how we will be doing this. So we have all the registration data in the Excel sheet, as you see now on the screen. So I have put in the number, which is 59. I'll spin the wheel, and the number at which it will stop will be the lucky winner. So this is just a demo. So for example, the number is 56. So the corresponding person will be the winner of this lucky draw. So let's go, guys. I'm spinning it. All right, so we have number 8. I'll just quickly see number 8. So do we have Mekha Bagla? Mekha? Mekha, are you there? All right, so we'll connect with Mekha offline. So that brings us to the end of the session. Yeah, you can go on with your questions. If you have any questions for me or for Diksha, we are here to answer.
So a lot of them again have messaged me individually about how helpful they found this session, and it's really I'm really happy to read all of those responses. It will be great if you could give the feedback in the feedback form also. That link has been shared already in the chat section. So please fill out the feedback form. It will help us understand whether if there was something where we went wrong or how we can also improve, and also understand your perspective of the workshop. And any questions again, you can ask.
So guys, if you have any queries, maybe you want to, if you want to connect with us directly, you have the numbers on the screen. You can connect with us. We'll help you, guide you in booking the one-on-one sessions if you need that. If you have any queries regarding the program, you have the number on the screen. You can connect with us and we'll be happy to help you out. Any questions, any feedback, so please do fill the feedback form. It will help us in incorporating your suggestions, feedbacks. The link of the feedback form is already there in the chat box. Any questions? Any questions if you have for me or for Diksha?
All right, then. Thank you everybody for joining the session. And it was really great interacting with each one of you, with all the teens, and with all the parents. And I hope we deliver such future workshops later on also, and you also gain something out of those as well. So thank you from my end.